Greetings everyone! Today we're delving the concepts of global city and global village theory in a presentation crafted solely for educational purposes. This material is tailored for our instructor Mr. Daldal Ardenes to enhance our comprehension of these ideas. As we embark on this journey, let's keep in mind that our goal is to learn and grasp these concepts effectively without any more delay. So let's commence our presentation on a global city and global village theory.
So, as you can see, the listeners will be able to identify the attributes of a global city and analyze how cities serve as engines of globalization. So, first one is that the listeners will be able to know the meaning of global city, and to be followed by what are the characteristics of global city, and what are the examples of global city, and lastly, what are the challenges of global cities with the COVID-19 pandemic. And for the global village theory, the listeners will be able to identify the attributes of a global village. So, let's start. So, global cities. So, what is global cities? Global city, an urban center that enjoys significant competitive advantages and that serve as hub within a globalized economic system. The term has its origin in research on cities carried out during the 1980s, which examined the common characteristic of the world's most important cities. However, with increased attention being paid to process of globalization during subsequent years, this word city became to be known as global cities. So, in meaning that global city has many advantages that make it stand out. It's like a strong economy and connection with other countries. So, in this term came from studies in 1980s looking at what makes certain cities of significance. So, over time, as people talk more about globalization, these important cities began to be called global cities. So, in simple words, global cities are like the big stars of the world stage, playing key roles in business, culture, and more, connecting with other cities and countries around the globe. So, that's all.
Global cities are strategic sites that manage and guide the global economy. Many of these cities were already centers for international trade and banking. Sakia Sassins, Columbia University sociologist and leading the theorists of the global cities. So why do global cities help worldwide? Furthermore, global cities are the vital nodes in the global transportations networks connecting regions and continents through air, sea, and land roads. Their extensive infrastructure facilitates the movement of people, goods, and ideas, promoting international trade, tourism, and cultural exchange. This interconnectedness fosters mutual understanding and collaboration, strengthening ties between nations and fostering of a sense of the global community. Aside from that, Sassen's concept of the global cities revolves around the idea of cities emerging as key nodes in the global economic network, characterized by their centrality in facilitating global flows of capital, information, and people. Central to Sassen's concept is the notion that certain cities have become vital and command centers in the global economy, exerting significant influence beyond their national boundaries. So you have several cases in Assassin's concept of global cities. So the first one is the economic function, globalization and urbanization, and the last one is the policy implications. So those are the several cases in Assassin's concept of the global cities. But aside from that, the cities are the major nodes in the interconnected systems of information and money that flows to facilitate financial institutions, consulting firms, accounting firms, law firms, and media organizations. I have some examples of global cities. The first one is the New York City, London, Tokyo, Japan, and France, and etc. So the cities around the world, there's a lot of focus on how information and money move around. These cities are like important hubs in a big network of information and money. The wealth that flows through them support business like banks, consulting firms, accounting firms, law firms, and media companies. And that's it.
Examples: New York City, USA. So, big city in America, known for mga tagas og building. Then ang famous sites like Statue of Liberty and lots of business, then art and entertainment. London, UK. So, a big city in England with famous place like Big Ben and Buckingham Palace. It got lots of daghan ni siya og kanang mga bank, then shops and daghang tao from all over the world. Tokyo, Japan. A huge city in Japan known for its bright lights, then daghan og kanang mga lindot cool gadgets, then daghan po og tao diri, lots of people. It also where many important companies have their headquarters. Next is Paris, France. The capital city of France. So, nana siya ang famous sa capital city of France is Eiffel Tower niya. Mga food nila kay mga delicious food then and beautiful art niya, daghan po og tourist na mo visit every year. Next is Singapore. So, a small but busy city in Asia known for its modern building, then good food, and being a big center for business and trade. Kani nga mga city kanang importante ni siya kanang because they're like big hubs where lots of things happen kanang gikan sa business and culture to technology and trade that kanang maka-affect not just their own countries but the whole world.
These are the four pillars of urban life in a global city. Longworth 2015. Balance between four pillars of urban life. Civic. An effective city government supported by institutions of civic society, such as think tanks and foundations, especially those embedded in the global city. This means the city has a good government that works well. It also has groups in society, like think tanks and foundations, that help make the city better. These groups are not just local, they are connected to the whole world. Commercial, a powerful business community with global connections, means the city has a big business community that is powerful and has connections all over the world. This means lots of important companies, deals happens there. Educational, both higher education and K-12, means the city has a good school and universities for both kids and adults. People can get a good education from kindergarten to college. Cultural, the art and entertainment that give the city its soul, means the city has a vibrant arts and entertainment scene. This includes things like theaters, music, museums, and festivals that make the city special lively.
So, good day everyone. We will going to tackle the characteristic of global city by Longworth 2015. So the first characteristic is economic attributes. So economic attributes is that no city is a global city unless it is an economic powerhouse. For example, dominant in finance, trade, manufacturing, or business services. So so when a global city needs to be a strong in businesses like finance trade, making things or provide services. So for example, New York City. New York City is a global city, right? So as you can see, New York City is a very wealthy country because of its major hub of finance and businesses. And second is population size. All global cities are big cities. So 3 million people or more. It takes size to offer all the attributes needed to be a global city. So as you can see, in global city, it is needed to be 300 or more people in order the city to make a big city, a global city rather. So they need to be big to have all the things that make them important in the world, important worldwide. So for example, Tokyo. Tokyo is a global city because it's huge and has a lot of people. So next is human capital. Human capital, this means having a storehouse of smart, educated, creative people. The percentage of the population with a college degree counts. So does the number of university and their quality. So a global city has a lot of smart, educated, and creative people. This means that many people have gone to college or universities, cities like London. So for example, London, with its many university and educated workforce, it fit the description of a global city. Next is culture. A strong economy pays for the museum, universities, symphonies, and theaters that make a city more than a labor pool. This is also a draw for global citizens who have a place to live, work, and do business. Global city, it means that global city have a variant cultural scene. This means that they have museum, university, theaters, and other cultural attractions. So, in short, a global city needs to have a vibrant culture scene like museum, university, or theaters. In order for the people in the global city to have a enjoyment. And for example, Paris. Paris is known for its world-class museum like Louvre and its rich cultural history, making it a global city. And to continue, I will be calling Melvin Laureto to continue to the next topic.
And let's move on my topic. So my topic is tourists. Because global cities are so big, so vibrant, so much fun, they are magnets for tourists. Tourists themselves are a major export industry. They come from outside to buy what a city has to offer. For example, global cities are exciting and vibrant, attracting lots of tourists. Tourists bring money into the city, making tourism an important industry. And we have connectivity. For the most part, this means air and digital connection to the rest of the world. If global cities are where global citizens meet, then a major airport with a full schedule of non-stop flights to other global cities is crucial. So for example, global cities are exciting and vibrant, attracting lots of tourists. Tourists bring money into the city, making tourism an important industry. Global cities need good connection to the rest of the world, both through airports and digital networks. Having a major airport with many flights to other global cities is crucial. So we have quality of life. This includes public transit, the environment, safe streets, good health care, and efficient and harness local government. A reputation for corruption, pollution, or crime will damage a city's competitive power. For example, a global city should have a good public transportation, a clean environment, safe streets, good healthcare, and harness local government. A bad reputation for things like corruption, pollution, or crime can hurt the city's competitiveness.
Global cities had many problems because of COVID-19 pandemic. These problems have affected different parts of city life. Here are some big problems. First one is healthcare. Hospital and healthcare system in cities got very busy because many people got sick with COVID-19. There were not enough beds and medical equipment to cater for everyone who needed help. The second one is jobs and money. Many businesses had to close because of lockdowns and rules to stop the virus from spreading. This meant lots of people lost their jobs and didn't have enough money to live. The third one is people's lives. Some group of people, like those who less money or immigrants, were hit harder by the virus. They got sicker and had more problems because of the pandemic. The fourth one is using computers. More things went online during the pandemic, like work and school, but not everyone had a good internet connection and not everyone knew how to use computers. So, many people had more problems because of some people get harder time to use these gadgets. The fifth one is homes. With less money, some people couldn't pay rent. This meant they might lose their homes, and landlords who didn't get rent because the renter is not having a job to pay the rent, and landlords also have problems. The sixth one is transportation. Many people stopped using buses and trains because of lockdowns and rules about staying apart. This meant less money for the companies that run these services or business. It was also hard to keep providing transport for people who really needed it. The seventh one is urban planning and governance. The pandemic meant cities had to change quickly to deal with health and money problems. They had to change roads, buildings, and rules to keep people safe and help the economy. It was a big challenge to make these changes fast. The eighth one is mental health. The pandemic made many people in cities feel very worried and sad. They couldn't see friends or do normal things because of the virus. This made them feel worse. It was a hard time for many people's mental health.
So, Global Village Theory. Marshall McLuhan, a Canadian media theorist, introduced the concept of the Global Village Theory in 1964. He described it as a world interconnected by technology, allowing for instant sharing of culture and experiences. This theory suggests that despite physical distances, people across the globe are brought closer together through technology similar to living in a small village where everyone knows each other's businesses. So that means McLuhan's global village theory highlights how advancements in technology have transformed the world into a closer connected community. Through electronic communication systems such as the internet and television, events and cultures, from one as part of the world can be experienced by people in another parts instantly.
So, for instance, McLuhan pointed out significant global events like the Olympic Games and the moon landing, which were witnessed by millions of people around the world simultaneously through television broadcast. He also referenced World Cup, which attract billions of viewers global, demonstrating how sport event can unite people from diverse background. So, explanation of McLuhan in recent years, with the rise of streaming services and online platform, McLuhan theory has become even more apparent. Major events like the World Cup have broken viewership records, showcasing the widespread ag- agreement facilitated by technology. Overall, McLuhan Global Village theory highlights the interconnectedness of the world and the role of technology in shrinking cultural and geographical distances, fostering the sense of global community.
In conclusion, global cities such as New York City, Tokyo, and Paris act as vital hubs for finance, commerce, education, and culture, attracting diverse population and fostering innovation. These cities rely on civic engagement, economic strength, educational excellence, and cultural richness to thrive. Factors like population size, human capital, tourism appeal, connectivity, and quality of life further distinguish them. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has posed significant challenges impacting various aspects including healthcare, economies, technology usage, and mental health. Despite these obstacles, global cities demonstrate resilience and adaptability. Additionally, Marshall McLuhan's concept of the global village highlights how technology has interconnected humanity, as evidenced by shared experience during major global events like the Olympics and the World Cup. This interconnectedness transcends physical boundaries, creating a sense of unity, reminiscence of a small village where everyone experiences and shares. Thank you for listening and watching, and that's all.